Please join me in welcoming Prastik Mohanraj.
Good evening, parents, friends, family, teachers, administrators, and of course, my peers of the class of 2019. It is my honor and great privilege to stand here tonight and represent the student body as valedictorian as we celebrate the end of our high school careers. I would like to preface by stating that, like much of my personal academic career at ESUMS, the speech was submitted at the very last minute. In fact, I did some edits right outside. We've had so many experiences, good and bad, together at ESUMS, like having to descend 5 flights of stairs to lunch, only to ascend the same 5 flights of stairs to our next class. Participating in fire drills that are conveniently timed to occur during our exams. Watching the slow disintegration of the uniform policy from the strict shirts tucked in, black shoes code to our current much laxer standard. Fighting for our right to wear hoodies, which I might add that we successfully won. Together we do soar. Now, just imagine 4 years of our lives, and 7 for many, coming to a close this day. Years replete with hard work, perseverance, determination, sweat and tears, sleepless nights studying for the next morning's exam, last minute rushing to complete a paper through the next period, the scramble of team members on shared Google Docs to crank out a project overnight. All of this culminating in each of us receiving a mere sheet of paper. But that sheet of paper is only a symbolic representation of a much more meaningful accomplishment, closing a chapter of our lives. It is a bittersweet feeling to be here. Bitter, of course, because as we jump into the next chapter, we'll be leaving behind many experiences, friendships, and relationships. Whether enrolling in college or directly entering the workforce, we face the challenge of figuring out what our lives will become from here. But it's sweet too. Because of ESUMS, we have gained the capacity to navigate the world around us. Who knows where we'll eventually end up and what fruits each of us will harvest down the line. It is impossible to predict where each of us will land, but I look forward with confidence that we all have meaningful journeys ahead. Looking back at both the bitter and sweet moments of ESUMS, I feel it is worth considering our total experiences more than our specific actions. To illustrate, at the expense of invoking unrest in my peers and resurfacing traumatic memories, I would like to reference the principle of holistic college admissions. This basically refers to how colleges review a candidate for enrollment. They do not solely, or not even mostly, consider a student's grades, or GPA, or coursework, but rather intricately examine his or her overall character, experiences, thoughts, personality. To colleges, the whole human experience is greater than the sum of the individual parts of one's life. Despite it being a seemingly overused term, and regardless of our own personal opinions about the admissions process, there is worth to the notion of a holistic evaluation. It comes in handy when, in trying to discover the meaning of life and picturing our future selves, we may realize that we've been taught to focus on the wrong aspects of life in our attempts to receive fulfillment. The reason a holistic evaluation is necessary is that everyone has a life outside of one's education. It may be marked by disparate interests, activities, familial relationships, social lives, and career aspirations, but everyone has an external life, unique and distinctive. We must never forget that no matter what path we pursue, we each will still have a life outside of academics, one that we must continue to refine and cherish. I argue that it is this specific aspect of life, outside of the work we may perform in our future, where true happiness and contentment lie. We have learned to value academics and education because it has been imprinted upon us to think that success is measured in terms of the schools we attend, the jobs we attain, the salaries we earn, the ease of our lives. So why have we invested so much effort over the course of these past 4 years? Why have we endured sleepless nights studying for the next morning's exam, last minute rushing to complete a paper for the next period, the scramble of team members on shared Google Docs to hammer out a project overnight. What was our internal motivation? It probably wasn't fun or pure enjoyment of it. Our motivation was probably based on societal expectation from ourselves, our parents, friends, teachers, ESUMS, the larger community as a whole. An expectation that getting better grades in school equals attending better colleges, which equals achieving better jobs, which equals receiving higher pay, and so forth. But what is the end of this line? I argue that for all such lines, for all such people, the end is simply contentment. We learn to believe that we should put in effort now, even if it makes us immeasurably unhappy for the time being, because the payoff will contribute to our future lives. We really assume that the joy we receive in the end more than compensates for the effort and stress we endure today. Which begs the question, is this assumption true? That the payoff will ultimately compensate for the effort and stress we endure for our personal goals? What ensures this payoff of contentment? In reality, there simply is no assurance that we will receive a worthwhile return of lasting happiness on our investment of effort. But perhaps it isn't necessary to achieve these personal goals. Rather, maybe it's the path to achieve them that actually counts. As Alfred de Souza states, happiness is a journey, not a destination. For a long time, it seemed to me that life was about to begin, real life. But there was always some obstacle in the way, something to be gotten through first. At last it dawned on me that these obstacles had become my life. There is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. What de Souza asserts is remarkable, that contentment is not an endpoint, not a pinnacle to be reached, but that the trek of life may be the real source of lasting joy. Yes, we have experienced academic stressors throughout high school, and yes, we will continue to face stronger stressors later in our lives, all to achieve personal goals that we believe may ultimately provide us persisting happiness. It must seem like an uphill battle for us to attain true contentment, given the society that we live in. However, I believe that it does not have to be this way. Lasting happiness should be our first goal, and we must seek to directly achieve it, not to experience it as a mere byproduct of our other goals. I believe that if someone sincerely does not feel happy during the journey toward his or her goal, then it is far from likely that he or she will feel happiness upon reaching the end. Even if he or she does experience any joy at the end, it will be but for a moment, while the journey may have felt like a long, laborious eternity. Wouldn't it have been worth it then? If that goal couldn't bestow true happiness, then was the goal worth achieving? As Arthur Ashe once said, the doing is often more important than the outcome. In short, I believe one's aspirations should not rest upon his or her personal goals with tangible ends. The presidency, billionaire status, fame, a big house, and a fancy car or two. Rather, the one goal that matters first and foremost is achieving contentment, whatever that means for each of us. Consequently, it is worth more if you ultimately do not reach your goal, but actually had fun along the way, rather than if you reach your goal, but had a miserable experience getting there. At the risk of sounding too cheesy, my advice is, let us all simply just stop and take a breath. Can we all do it together? We really should enjoy life as it presents itself. The next 4 years will definitely fly by, just as fast as these past 4 days. And we cannot let life pass us by without stopping to enjoy seeing its truth. Society's taught us that success is measured by a certain quantifiable metric, either by money, property, status, likes, or followers. But is that metric the best or most appropriate one? Maybe individual success should be based upon living a fulfilling, holistically content life across all one's days, instead of only benefiting from brief moments of happiness that are scattered throughout long, arduous stretches of time. As we initiate the next chapter of our lives, it is critical to know what success truly means to us, rather than how others might define it. It's been a pleasure to speak to you all today, and we must all remember that, as Dr. Carrasco says, life is beautiful.